talk about business, actual business, because we have lots to discuss, especially in regards to the fact that we've got all kinds of gubbins going on. Indeed. Gubbins. 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 There you go.
Ah,
Mm.
I see. Your magical cheese and stuff are floating.
So if you come through here, Morty, basically the idea is that you'll notice that we have a total of 3 tables. There's 2 at the front and there's 1 at the back. The idea is it's fine dining, it's small scale, it's friends having dinner and discussing private matters, not getting harassed or annoyed. My security guards will be here typically during your food preparation hours. There's a set menu typically, and we also have a fully working kitchen at the back as well. So this is the private room, VIPs only, and you get the idea. So you might have been here before, but we run this like an actual place. We also have a separate venue in town that we're currently negotiating the keys to, just for access, specifically so that we can host banquets out of Nepos, um, which will then be an extension of us to some degree, but only by agreement. And it's not for the sole purpose of monopolization, so it doesn't count. Um, we just want to use that venue to host people, etc. Because they've got 2 by 2 tables there, so they've got 4 seats on each rather than 2, so we can have a much more nicer venue. Plus, you can go between the 2 venues as well if you want to have multiple table services going on at the same time. Um, but either way, we're very very strict operation here. We have 2 other chefs. Grog the Gourmet is the main head chef of the house at the moment, followed by Norin. What's his second name? Not as famous as the other one. Darwin. What a boring second name. Darwin. Norin Darwin is his second name. But those are the current chefs at the moment. They've been perusing through our menus. I'm gonna send you a thing. Hang on. Right, if you can take a look at that for me. This is kind of our primary listing of services. Oh no, this is not the primary listing of services. This is the wrong menu. This is the original menu that we then got rid of because it wasn't as detailed as the actual menu. Hang on.
Yeah. I mean, if it's prepared by you, Morty, it's got to be quite the price then. For your own curiosity, would you like the menu that they use at the inn in Morthal? Yes, yes, sorry. Let me find it here.
Sorry, that is meant to be that's going to be the official menu that we're going with that I've sent you now. It should have the different service types on there as well, so it should be fully set up already. The only thing I need to do is adjust prices to make them not necessarily competitive, because again, we're not trying to be competitive. This is a private fine dining experience, which is literally going to have my entire house security at play whenever they're available, um, and various other elements. And it's an experience. It's meant to be famous chefs. It's meant to be the best of the best. That's why we're gonna keep trying to get these guys reputations, get them doing catering and things around the world, etc., etc. We want to have a well-known repertoire of personnel here. Mm-hmm. What's wrong with the prices in your opinion? Because I haven't set those prices, so I don't know. They're not my prices. No, don't know.
Hmm. This is what I do for alchemical reagents and potions as well. Try to make the purchasing price of reagents go up while the price of potions go down. I've been somewhat effective across Solitude and a couple other the keeps from my practices in Morthal. Well, of course.
So again, could you, if you have suggestions as to how this will work, then I'm listening. All I'm hearing is, I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but all I'm hearing is why you can't do it. How would you want it to work so that you can do it? Is where I'm coming at. Yeah, I've sent you the updated one. The first thing I sent you, as I said, literally at the very first thing, I said, "Whoops, that's wrong. Here's the actual thing." Just so you're.
Yeah. And Marty, you got the the menu pamphlet I sent you as well, or handed to you. Yes.
Because I'm happy to take in or intake as much data as possible, come to a meaningful conclusion on pricing. However, the problem is, Maury, that the reason why I plan on running it this way is because if I have two venues of the fine dining variety, it's a different clientele, it's a different group of people. It's for proper meetings for proper businesses.
I imagine Lord Varric would love this play.
And that's kind of my point. And if we can get those regulars, and they enjoy coming here and they enjoy being served, and they feel like this is actually a neutral ground where everyone can have good business decisions, make lots of septim profit and plan, like I feel like it would be a good opportunity. Again, if the prices can go down, Maury, I'm not bothered. The problem is that ingredients prices are the way they are. Like you can't get wheat and shit for less than zero point 0.5, and if you do buy it at 0.5, you're buying it at 1,000. So like, do you know what I mean? Like that's the problem.
Yes, I'm making sure to make the wheat market
So how
stable.
how can you possibly? And this is the problem, Maury. I know the number of chefs that walk in and out of Markarth just on its own. How can you solely affect the prices in the way that you have done? Because all it sounds like is that while you are here, the prices are what you dictate them to be. But while you are not here, the prices are not what you dictate them to be. If you get what I'm saying. So how have you functionally done that? Because I like I like it when people talk big, Maury, but I like to use metricized data. I am in fact a Dwemer, data scientist to some degree in Markarth as well, I guess. Um, So whatever you can tell me that can help me push that agenda forward would be very helpful.
I I do data science to make our general goods fair. For the most part, the reagents used to make something half the price of what it costs to make it, I add on top. And then that helps me cover my operating costs and my store costs.
Yes, but that's just basic fiscal responsibility, though, Quinn. That's not like an explanation on how you would then reduce the overarching costs of the entire realm and demonstrate the level of success that you suggested that you had. Is all I'm saying. I haven't seen it. I don't see any evidence or any metrics. So for me, all I want to know is how would you say this would be best ran, Morty? And if you do want the job, and you can make it function, you make it work. We have to just remember that the reason why this works for us is that we provide security, we provide private access venues that are under lock and key. The only other access clientele that will be allowed in here are literally vetted bank clients that have storage here, and that would be it. And they pay, not necessarily excess prices, but they pay 150 and they get access to additional stuff for the bank and stuff. Like we run a very um, our business model can't be beat on service or price because every service you get, like you get so much additional stuff that covers it.
I mean, I
So I know what
suppose
you're
the
saying when you're saying
pricing,
changing prices, but I need to know how you mean.
I imagine the pricing covers some of the guards that will be on standby and stuff as well. So it's not just the food you're purchasing, I'd imagine.
I like that too. Mm.
That's awesome.
Okay. So again, this is the part where again we run everything is combined here for that reason. My chefs are expected to feed my retinue as well. My retinue is consistent of hunters, alchemists, warriors, all sorts of different people, smiths, etc., miners, and so on. Each of those skills, due to the nature of how we have been, set up now, is leveraged in that way. So you need cheap meats and food. Don't worry, the hunters and the chefs are working together to provide everyone that amenity. You want decently cheap armor and weapons. Don't worry, the smiths are providing everyone that same amenity at cost rather than anything. You know what I mean? Like we are an internal unit in that way, if that makes sense. Um, and food, again, we have to feed 15 or 16 particular fighters overall that are genuinely active, different times. But so it just depends really. If you get what I'm saying. So you're right. I want those things that you're talking about in exactly the way that you've explained them, and that's kind of what I think that menu is. I think that the combo meals will be really good. I think that the chitin thing is uh, a level of overkindness, perhaps, unless there's like, is there a value to chitin?
You can get it practically free, so it's just a repurposing of a thing that is deemed worthless. Yes. Penny, how'd you get in?
The
Well, I
doors are
walked
unlocked.
open.
It's a bank.
Ah,
I so it's a good solution. It does rely on an, a highly socially engineered solution, I guess, which is fine. But it does revolve around having a good organization, right? It revolves around having the hunters and stuff like that. So I don't know. I look at this and I think this sounds all good to me. I like the idea of it. I would like to. Obviously, I asked the question before; it wasn't really answered particularly well. How you've managed to reduce all of the prices, or what you think that the effect has been on the overall prices cumulatively since you've been doing your experiment. Let's say, because I am a man of science. Let's say, so fair enough. I appreciate that. Hopefully, we can talk about that another time. But that's fine. Hmm. So in that case, then the only problem I'm seeing is that, say for example, I have a bunch of hunters. You're telling me that they are going to get less money with this structure, which is fine. However, what does that make the market then? Because if how much do you want to undercut everybody by, percentage wise? And how do you intend on paying for the resources? Yeah, that's totally acceptable. But what I'm saying is that how do you then actually manage this properly? Because I just don't see how you make a profit anywhere. Unless you're saying that the market for food is so highly saturated that it's in the matter of like hundreds and hundreds of percent that everyone makes a markup on. And that you're saying that the markup needs to be what percentage based on the ingredients cost? Just 200%?
Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah.
here, the question for you,
So,
how much do y'all pay for cure disease in a similar way? How much would
oh,
you think is
I,
normal?
I just get them made for me with a however alchemist.
Well, for the non-noble.
We have client price. Hang on, I'll just tell you.
Yes,
Yeah. Outside of clientele, non-clients pay 15, clients pay 10.
yes. I'm able to turn a good profit on them for 6, is what I've been doing, while still buying the reagents above market average. No one buys cure disease from Solitude anymore, and Solitude is adjusting their prices to match mine so that we can work together and fix the price of them. This is a good practice. It's good for everyone.
I just don't see how it is necessarily, because the problem that I'm seeing is that there's not a lot of cure disease potions that get sold anyway because they're being handed out like hotcakes by the holds,
Uh,
not because they're not being sold. Like what you're discussing there is a is of partial effect, I think, to some degree
I
when it
mean,
comes
I
to
don't
that.
want to go
Because
down my whole potion list for you. That would be extensive.
well, I completely agree, but that's the reason why I've said that that particular example is, pick a different one, just one, not like 1,000. I'm not trying to insult your intelligence, but if
Okay,
you feel like I
yeah,
am, then we can end this
healing
conversation. Like I'm
potions, then
totally
it's
fine.
fine.
No, it's totally acceptable. I apologize. Maybe I've approached this from the wrong angle because all I'm looking for is some clear, concise data points, and every time I've asked for one, I feel like I'm going around in fucking circles. So forgive me. I would like us to end this conversation now, and I'd like for you to more. You may consider what it is that you do. Quinn, I don't know what you're going to do. Forgive me. I don't wish to continue this conversation. I feel like no matter what you've kind of said to me, you want to dictate a lot to me, and I don't see how what you're doing is correct because you don't tell me the numbers, you just dictate to me. So I'm not bothered. I don't want to hear it. Thank you very much for your time.
Good day.
Well,
He
that's
seems
one
fun to
way to
work with.
make an exit.
I think you dodged. I think you dodged a bullet or an arrow. I mean, yeah, yeah. I gave numbers. I would give decimal points in every region if I needed to, but eh, yeah. The way you do it is you just pay the fair price and sell at the fair price, and you will still turn a profit. I promise. Goodness,
Oh, Jim.
maybe I am too. I make a 30% markup on that 6 gold cure disease. It doesn't matter if people give them away for free. It's about the same profit margin on everything, and people are baffled by how cheap I sell things. It's not. Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
that makes sense to me.
I think he wanted to know how he is going to get rich off of it, which corrupt richness is not what we're doing. Yeah, I feel like you dodged an arrow with this one. Yeah, I would love to see it. Okay. Yeah, it's here. I'll leave a pebble somewhere. One sec. Let me figure out.
Ooh, noble people.
Oh yeah. Oof. That was yeah.